So, yeah, small disclaimer. I don't know how much I want to get this from it because I think it's very useful, but something is unscripted by the criminal. Oh no, everyone knows. And the English administrator, I think it explains a bunch of things. One day you have someone saying, why would they stay behind the door with the phone? And it's like, I'm not staying in, just putting the phone aside. A way down to recent justice crimes and other things of the sort. Culminating on the little shit show we saw this weekend, past weekend, which, as we cannot stress enough, hasn't caused any issues whatsoever after. It was just a one-time stunt that was more than abundantly clear. You can see that on those public videos on YouTube, how much of that was fake. Like officials showing up one day time or something like that, doing things in real life, plus shackles the other phone. So this is a software issue they're doing what they seem to be, or at least the software is. So in other words, I don't know if there's a controller or a driver or something like that they're doing, but they're trying to let this guy take his phone, not when it has a 10%. I couldn't talk very easily because of the, as you didn't share no stuff about around. So I should say, the only other possibility then is just being described there. And there's just several things. We heard the same issue in Argentina that got fixed by me apparently doing something, but then I just put the old things the same way that they were, and it just functions. Something like that. Also happened back home with another device. We're talking about three are the fourth device for sure. Okay. It's just a training thing as of right now. Remember how a few days ago the training thing was a screen, and all the time when we go to Paraguay you're gonna fix something in relation to the fucking screen that they're damaging or something else happening to it. It's okay. This is just a training thing. As of now. In case you don't know how the screen was done. The screen, I don't know if you're not working this, but the screen was just physical time in the middle of the night. Whenever the time comes. It was documented. It's not the best example. I just took the ones of this literally exactly the same thing was done before. One was the famously enclosed iPad that I had back home the first time. Because they wanted to go to the store and I go to them and just charge and it was just fine. Second one being the phone in Buenos Aires, where, as I said, you can spend money to do something, and then I just report that the way it was originally, when it was not working, and just works. Which is what I'm saying, the tools of a controller or driver, you can change the settings to cause it to be like this. And you can just bypass that. As of right now, I already saw so many consistencies as this goes. And as I said, for this to be done in a day where the first day where you cannot move straight because of a big bag not fitting on top, the largest bag you have is the one day where again you can move straight. That also happened in the bathroom, even though it was always finished. And the battery was disconnected. The battery was not disconnected at any time. Now, normally it would have been, but because of the crimes on Sunday, I can testify that it was. As I said, everything is all layers upon layers. It happened on a Friday, even though this thing clearly was. So this is I say that because it's one of two things. Either this is a more thing in and of itself, or it's a pretext for some crimes to be done to me today. Encompassing this one, I already talked to Kanye, although that's a black hole. And which is why this is now to be on YouTube. As for the other phone, it's going to be recording internet and split up a little bit more space. As always, about time to solve that and we solve down the other phone. They try to destroy it, so this would idea that they were up to something. Remember we said that yesterday several times? From the giggles, the laughter drugs, and they're using a lot of drugs, but not as much as usual. They up to something. That was it. And that was a mistake. And as I said, one or two options. You got something done. You're gonna have this wheel coming down there, and it reminds me that filming straight to me. And that reminds me of, it's not really beautiful for that. I can find what happened. The weird ass criminal in that video you already on YouTube from yesterday. For instance. Right? Long voice here on that thing. By the way, there was no such thing as any giving of any food for free here at all. Of course, it wasn't inside the mall. So, I showed to you that was nonsense one day before this thing was done. Now, again, this was not planned from yesterday. Surprise! It was planned from way ahead of time. This was planned involving Gelson's Prime. You even saw him on Saturday or Sunday over there, right? This was planned involving a bunch of things. This is planned involving the criminals, as you know them. I just see them do this crimes all the time. Whichever level coordination they have. Which doesn't involve those confirmed ones, including in the mall. Again, as I said, who would look at a guy connecting a phone to charge on a cable that doesn't have any chair or anything around? Even though there are other pillars throughout the mall that actually could charge on and stand next to it. And I didn't even have the car next to me. My car was in the table. And this is not something easy to miss. The entire thing is next to the table there. And things that I'll be standing behind the door. And as I said, this is probably how far at least it goes. In my opinion, actually, this might be the reason those plans was the 25th of April when they did that crime to her. It was premeditated and enhanced since always since then to now. Tough to say. Keep rushing, I'm very concerned. As I said, I'm not letting this turn into the report criminal thing. It's making a difference, especially for the things we learned today. As you can see, the phone is functional to this. And you can see how much in line this is for the rest, right? That's all we've been doing these days, and how we saw it yesterday and the day before as well. Maybe this wasn't planned from them. There was something else. Maybe it might be something as standard for this crime as trying to pin me down someplace. Right now, for instance, they're putting drugs on me. I'm feeling some really heat in my hands for some reason. God knows what this is. Okay, there's water being thrown on the table. God knows where it's coming from. Supposedly from ventilation, but it could be from whatever. That's already what they're doing, again, in a very tiny span of a few minutes after the crime on this, even though that I'm clearly recording. And that is how premeditated it was. It's not this random crop of teenagers making fun of our lives faster than me. That's how known it was. Right? Because I can guarantee to you that, first off, if they didn't know what was happening, who knows it wasn't me, right? Which, by the way, they're going to say at some point, so they can have this point to mention. As I said, it was recording on the phone, clearly when the guy is going to be talking. But the issue is, and that's just a gaslighting of 4 years of view, you would imagine. As for that, bragging, right? You just did. If nothing else, like what the fuck's happening? Clearly I'm recording, so the past it could just be made up. So, as I said, for what they go, they know what's happening. Everyone knows. Everyone also probably knows what they intend to do to me, which again I don't. So again, this is the nature of this warfare. It's a very tiny short span. You saw so much being recorded on those other two phones, especially better than mention. So again, Okay, and in the most bizarre day possible, clearly the most conspicuous day that we have so overloaded this, and apart from that, you saw this other days because Nintendo for me to be in a specific place, and I just keep charging with the power bank and then charge it for phone. And since then, this is roughly this is what I've engineered to add things in here. So that this was done to my family's devices and all sorts of things. You can talk to Tanya, and you're gonna see the sound is out my point. For anyone who's talking their volume, to just self-explanatory, right? As for the and that's the point. So as I said, so it's done to us in so many other devices. Well, just all the Pixel does, the Pixel has done before, or it fails in space immediately. And essentially is what this is. Okay. Now, either way, this is not the thing, because at the end of the day, what even pretends to be not an immense deal, as we know, but we know that it's not real. But even if it was, again, as I said, what they did is that now it goes to show how pissy they were about me disconnecting the phone, attaching the phone to the battery. So we know that definitely affects the way that they were doing things. But the issue is, because I can imagine this being the one thing that was packaged supposed to be packaged by, and you can imagine that if they use that to stalk on me, and I can just shut the phone down in a way that they don't have any control over, then it feels, as I said, a little cozy feeling of not actually being able to control. Which again, this is everyone. As you saw, random fucking teenagers who I've never met in my life, I don't even know if I passed this, were just making fun of it. And it's just me. As a matter of fact, I was just talking now on the other phone, but the most perfect proof of concept of just overwhelming evidence to what I was talking before about the just run over nature of this war crime done by all those criminals, which is everyone, as they brag in these days, right? To one person, that and how easy it is, and just the sheer level difference in what they're doing. And again, very peculiar type of individual that with all of this, no power to them, as we say. Just keep that in mind. More of that too. So, 9:05.